Hello, and welcome back to the Henchman Story. On the last episode, we were given the choice to either go to game night or go on to a dangerous mission with Madame Scorpion. We chose game night, and as it turns out, Madame Scorpion has decided to join us, which naturally is supposed to have us on edge. Since we're playing a basically D&D I was going to say rip-off, but a copy, she's invited Lord Bedlum as well, so that's going to be interesting. So we have a party of 4, Kate, Dave, Lord Bedlum, and Madame Scorpion, which I expect to be interesting, since it's basically one supervillain, one superhero, one wannabe supervillain, and one henchman who's loyal to said wannabe supervillain. Furthermore, we have Lord Bedlam was prepared and provided a dark elf to Madame Scorpion, whereas I believe Kate had prepared a dark paladin. But with that, let's see how this campaign goes, because I'm actually looking forward to this.
That much is true, at least. And that leaves...
Dave with, he was a dark cleric, apparently.
I'm Dave!
Hello, Dave.
Yes, we know.
He doesn't know the concept of roleplay, right?
No, not me. I'm Dave, and I'm playing Dave. Dave the cleric!
Yeah, we just gotta roll with it.
Fascinating.
Pretty much, Madame Scorpion. Okay, better step in and get this moving before it gets completely derailed.
All right then, Lord Archibald Lifesbane, Scarlet Ravenblood, Dave, and... Sorry, ma'am, what did you say your character's name was again?
Oh yeah, she didn't choose a name.
I didn't.
Right, sure. That keeps things simple, I guess. So anyway, you people, all of you, even those without names, have separately traveled to the city of Ilix, a hive of villainy and other exciting family activities. Great trails, scenic views, very outdoorsy.
Who's gonna blow things up first? I'm assuming Madame Scorpion.
You'd like it, Kate. Coffee may not be up to your standard, though, being that it doesn't exist. Tea does, but it's terrible.
That's unfortunate.
Anyway, all that really takes a backseat to the whole villainy thing. It's not that the place has lots of crime, it's that there is no crime. It's entirely lawless.
Well, then how can there be crime?
Excellent! Truly a paradise!
Oh, okay, if you're fine with it.
Alex is lawless. Very clever, Stanley.
That feels like sarcasm. I managed a half-hearted chuckle. That had better be a doozy of a name she comes up with. Talking all this smack.
But you 4 can handle it. So instead of getting mugged, each of you has separately found your way to a dimly lit tavern, occupied by a discerning, if unhygienic clientele of ruffians, mercenaries, and assholes.
It always starts in the tavern.
Ah, sounds wonderful. Reminds me of the old Independent Supervillain Association's monthly mixers. They were a real hoot, until Arsonist Man had a few too many IPAs, and, well...
Arsonist Man. Okay.
In hindsight, we probably shouldn't have let him join.
Makes sense?
Well, luckily for you, Arsonist Man isn't here. In fact, you, Lord Archibald, are the first of the party to enter. So, what would you like to do?
Ah,
okay.
Excellent!
I'm ghosting this.
Lifespan gallantly enter the tavern, my cape flowing behind me like a majestic cape.
Like a majestic cape. This sounds familiar.
I march to the bar, ignoring the stares of admiration that surely follow me, and order a glass of rosé.
Do they own that? Do they expect you to pay?
The barkeep doesn't know what that is.
Oh, right. Then I order an IPA.
I have no idea what that is either.
He doesn't know what that is either.
What? Preposterous! Everywhere has IPAs! Surely they could scrounge one up for the famous Lord Archibald Lifesbane, firstborn son of Duke Alfred Lifesbane, steward of Lifesbane County.
Okay. Well, I guess he's got his own story going on. This is already interesting.
You're right. Sorry, Lord Bedlam. My mistake. The barkeep brings you an IPA.
This is going to be tricky. Better move on to someone who can't threaten my life or career.
Anyway, Scarlet Ravenblood, you enter the tavern next. What do you do?
Let me guess. You start a bar fight.
Oh, already? Okay, hold on. A lone warrior strides through the door, armor clanking as they move. It glints in the dim light of the tavern, but darkly, for it is as black as the deepest pit. And so is their soul.
A dark looking. Interesting. A dark light.
The warrior's name, Scarlet Ravenblood. That's me. As I arrive, my violet orbs scan the room.
Interesting. I also realized, obviously, we're making the fanfic writer join the game. That's actually going to be good for you know, as she's doing. She's adding detail.
Wait, sorry. Did you just call your eyes orbs?
Yes, shut up. You can't just use eyes all the time. That's boring.
Yeah, you can.
Anyway, my orbs eventually find a secluded table in the most shadowy part of the tavern, and I walk over, armor clanking. I take a seat and call for a waiter.
That's twice she's used armor clanking. Is that supposed to be a thing?
A dwarven woman approaches. What will you have, moody-looking stranger?
An ale. The darkest ale you've got. Like, really super dark.
Clearly a superhero.
The waiter leaves and soon returns with your ale. It's definitely dark, and it tastes kinda grimy.
Perfect. I sip my ale and brood.
Okay, Batman.
Okay, roll to brew.
In that one, I'm brooding.
Really? Oh, okay.
I press the left as Kate actually rolls a dice.
Wow, 18. Very successful brood. You look incredibly imposing as you drink your dark, questionable ale from the shadow.
Okay.
Thank you.
And the next person to enter the tavern is...
Please don't say Dave.
Me, I assume. I enter the tavern and sit exactly 6 feet away from the door, as close to the wall as I can. If there are no seats in that spot, I move one there.
Fair enough.
I then order a glass of their finest red wine. If it is not their finest wine, then I explain to the waitress that their blood will do instead. Red is red after all.
Okay. So, are you playing a vampire elf?
Supervisor, put in an order for some red wine, please. Very expensive.
Well, luckily for the waitress, she manages to find some very nice red wine. Some of the best red wine you've ever tasted.
I have a feel is Lord Bedlum. Does he have feelings for Madame Scorpion? Is this why this is happening?
I doubt that. I'll mark it down as acceptable.
Works for me. Anyway, last up is Dave. What do you do?
Dave goes in and greets everyone, giving them all a handshake.
I enter the tavern and approach the barkeep. Good afternoon. I'm Dave, and I'm here to tell you about our Lord and Savior,
Lord Bedlum pauses to look down at his character sheet.
Ing with the Unknowable.
Ying with.
The barkeep says that drinks are on the house if you quietly and calmly take a seat.
Okay, and Dave gets free drinks. That's smart.
Oh, great. I'll have a cherry cola, please, and a spare flask of it for the road.
The tavern doesn't have cola.
Is Pepsi okay?
Oh. Bartender, may I please speak to your manager?
Really, Dave? Really, you're doing this on the first turn? I sigh, but let him have his cola without further protest. I have a feeling I'm gonna have a lot of these slides tonight. Wait, a lot of things slide tonight. Okay.
All right, now that you're all gathered here, do any of you want to interact with each other a little before we move on?
Oh, is Dave gonna go to Lord Lifespan?
To what end?
Stan, I had to work for this cola. I've got to enjoy it.
Bah! Lord Archibald Lifespan doesn't go to other people. People go to him.
And obviously, Kate's brooding.
Well, I would, but that would be kind of out of character, wouldn't it? I think I just need to keep up this brooding thing.
This makes sense. Okay, I can think this group is going to need some extra nudging. Maybe even outright hand-holding. Should have expected that, I guess. Kate and Scorpion definitely haven't played before. Bedlum is too wrapped up in his own character to notice much else, and Dave is Dave.
All right.
Dave
well,
also works
some time
because
passes
he's Dave.
And everything seems normal. That is, until you hear the marching of armored feet in the distance, but growing closer. Then, suddenly, the door bursts open.
The army of whatever kingdom, I guess.
A squad of armed men enter the tavern, wearing blue tabards emblazoned with a golden griffin. It's clear that they are guards or soldiers, which is weird, because Ilex has no guards or soldiers.
Guess it's gonna be a bar fight.
Their leader, a stern man with a wide, flat face that looks like it's been pounded out with a meat tenderizer, steps forward and points towards Lord Archibald.
Oh no. I'm going to assume a lot of them are gonna fight for the final kill of this main soldier, except for Dave.
Lord Archibald Lifesbane, you have been found guilty of crimes against the Kingdom of Stoltorum. In the King's name, come with us to the palace so that you may receive a punishment befitting of your family's station.
Ooh, I get to be the star of the plot?
Yes, and I feel like Madame Scorpion's gonna fix that. Dave's gonna get jealous. Well, no, and Kate's gonna be like... Is Kate gonna get jealous?
I mean, how dare you make such baseless accusations? I may have committed many crimes, but never against my own kingdom. How dare you sully the Lifesbane family name with such slander?
Interesting.
The king will be the judge of that. Now come with us.
But he's gonna say, I am the king.
Nonsense! Lord Archibald Lifesbane surrenders to no man, or woman, or 63% of the world's known monsters.
So you would... Does that mean you would surrender to, what, 27%?
If you dare to seize me, then you shall have to contend with the might of the greatest wizard the Lifesbane line has ever seen.
Okay.
Well, not yet. You're only level 3.
The third or fourth greatest wizard the Lifesbane family has ever seen. And the aid of any soul who cannot stand the sight of such imperialism in this free city.
That makes sense.
Oh, I'll help you, Lord Archibald.
Fair enough. That's two people working together.
I cast my healing spell on Lord Archibald.
But he's undamaged. Are you sure?
Dave.
Absolutely. I have to help in whatever way I can.
But then you could just punch people. I stare in confusion at him for a moment before rolling some dice for show.
Wow, look at that. Lord Archibald is at full health.
Yes! I'm really getting the hang of this.
That's not really...
Yeah. In fact, you're so good that the leader of these guys has decided you need to be taken care of. So he tells one of his men to get rid of you. So the soldier walks up to you and...
punches you. I roll another dice.
Punches you in the face for 3 points of damage.
Oh, man. Reminds me of Wednesday.
Oh yeah, Wednesday was Operation Day. Or is that Tuesday?
Well, it is a little different. The city is lawless, and that means the people here aren't big fans of armored assholes showing up and laying down the law.
Makes sense.
So, by punching you in the face, the guard has created quite the commotion, which means it would be the perfect time for someone else to step in.
Madame Scorpion? I look at Kate and then Madame Scorpion. Okay, so this scenario is a little obvious. But they're both new, so I figured it'd be good to start with something that gives them a lot of freedom to try stuff. But they both remain silent.
Anyone?
Why? It would be much more advantageous to bide my time.
Okay.
Yeah, just biding my time. I'm all about biding my time. Plus, I'm way too busy staring into the abyssal depths of this ale and contemplating the horror of my existence.
Okay.
Okay, well, as you sit there brooding, one of the soldiers shoves a patron into your table, spilling your ale.
There we go.
You scum! How could you do this? It was one of the few truly pure things left in this world.
How could you
and
do
you
this?
destroyed
That's great.
it, murdered it in cold blood. I unsheath my sword.
Stan's carrying a lot of this campaign.
No. Don't rush into things, dear. All that bravado won't be necessary. Just leave this to me, Besides, I believe you've used too many actions for one turn.
What? No, I haven't done any actions. I just started.
That's unfortunate.
And I, as I always do, shall finish it.
Are you fighting each other?
Finish? But meaning no offense, madam. I had a big plan and Scott, Game Master.
There we go.
I'm pretty sure I didn't finish my turn earlier. Shouldn't I have the chance to go? I'm the star of this whole scenario, aren't
Oh
I?
boy, this is quickly going out of hand.
Yeah, Lord Bedlam's the star. We're all just moons in his orbit.
Why, okay, I think you mean a sun. Well, I guess the same thing. Also, why are you so small, Dave?
Well, I never said that, and technically that wasn't a turn per se, since combat hadn't really...
Guys! I mean, ma'am, sir, with respect. I was kind of on a roll here, wasn't I, Stan?
Crap. A pile up already. Now, technically, there are statistics and dice rolls that determine who goes when, but the first thing you learn when you run a game is that these are malleable. The reality is that the person running the game, it can always choose to bend the rules, sometimes when things are going off the rails or players are new. That stops the game from devolving into chaos, like right now. It's an easy encounter, so whoever goes next is likely going to dictate the plan and outcome of the battle. So who should I let make the next move and set the plan into motion? Dave. Damn it. Well, since the other two are brooding, I'm kind of leaning towards Lord Bedlum. So either way, I'm going to save, though, because it seems like a big thing. So, Lord Bedlum.
You're right, Lord Bedlam. That was my mistake. I should have let you take a combat turn.
Excellent! And while perhaps I wouldn't say all of you are, what did you say, moons in my orbit?
He steals a pointed look at Madame Scorpion. While I can't see his expression, I'm certain it is that meant to assure her that only Dave, Kate, and I were the moons in Dave's clumsy metaphor.
I do appreciate your passion, Dale, and the clear, positive influence you have on your subordinates. Well done.
Oh my gosh.
You're too kind, Lord Bedlam. It's all part of being a supervisor.
So, I figured that it means Lord Bedlam doesn't have his own stats, and that's what they all were linked to. Got it.
Yes, you've done a fine job of echoing your employer's opinion, David. Now shall we cut to your plan, my lord? I'm curious to see if it's more successful than your heist of Pet Hub last month.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I assure you, it shall be at least as successful as that. It's a high bar, but I have confidence that I can clear it.
Okay, confidence is what matters.
Now, I raise my staff, gather my arcane power, and cast Grand Soliloquy!
Do we own... sorry, you're level 3, do you have that already?
Grand Soliloquy? Let me look that up.
No need, Stanley. I know it. The definition is that the caster amplifies their voice, creating shock waves in a 6-meter radius around themselves, and giving all enemies who hear it the deeply moved status effect.
Okay, so you are a public speaker, I guess. Also, Madam Scorpion, you have this memorized? Are we sure this is your first game?
Pending wisdom checks, of course.
That's exactly it. I mean, exactly. How do you know about an obscure spell like that already?
Memorize the book.
Why, it's just as our dear Kate said. You can learn anything if you put in the research.
You researched basically D&D. Okay, I shrugged, but don't press further. Seems like something that would take a lot more work than than casual searching about spells and sword on the internet. But if Scorpion doesn't want to explain it beyond that, no one here can tell her otherwise. Certainly not me. Rather than dwell on it, I roll for the soldiers, careful to keep each roll within sight of Lord Bedlam. I know how competitive he can get, and the last thing I want is to be accused of cheating.
Okay, looks like 4 of them get the status effect, and 2 of them take 10 points of damage from the shockwave. Nice job, boss.
It was, wasn't it? Oh, wait, may I perform the soliloquy as well? You know, just to add to the moment.
Sure, why not?
Sure. I don't see the harm.
What are you gonna say?
Excellent!
Let's see, come on. Give us something grand and full of glory.
Behold the power power of Lord Archibald Lifesbane. Heir to Lifesbane Manor, Lifesbane County, and the Lifesbane Country Buffet, medieval family diner restaurant chain.
That actually sounds tasty. Oh, a medieval, a medieval restaurant.
Bask in my glorious glow, and feast your eyes upon my valiant visage. For I am not only the Alpha and Omega, but also the Gamma, the Kappa, and the Omicron.
I feel like that's not going to be very hygienic as well. Talking about the reference still. But, okay, Hifumi, let's go.
Those who kneel, bow, or otherwise prostrate themselves before me shall be spared a modicum of pain and humiliation at my discretion. Mercy not guaranteed.
That's a decent offer.
There, that'll show them.
Wow. That was amazing, Lord Bedlum.
Thank you,
You
Dale.
could be an actor, like Chris Hemingway or all those other Chris's.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, my eardrums were blown away by your charisma. Maybe literally.
Did you not see the recommendation for earplugs on the Henchcan listing for this job? It was under the suggested equipment section.
Oh, this is quickly getting out of hand. Though I guess earplugs, because a lot of superheroes, I would imagine, would use some sort of sound wave or vibration analog frequency thing to disrupt a lot of supervillains.
Yeah, I did, but I figured that was meant for use in the field.
We've gotten that feedback before. Perhaps we should categorize equipment more specifically.
Makes sense. See, this is being helpful to you, Madam Scorpion.
But that can wait. For now, I believe it's my turn. That means the slaughter can really begin.
It turned into a slaughter. Alright. Not that I intended for their first fight to be a struggle. I wouldn't do that even for my normal crew. Some people are like tormenting their parties, but that's not really my bag. Yep, I definitely know someone who enjoys making it difficult. Though to be fair, in that person's defense, we weren't rolling very high either. We all get our butts kicked enough in the real world. In Spells and Swords, we get a chance to live in a world where we do the butt kicking for a change. It's a nice fantasy, even if that's all it is. By the time the imaginary dust settles, the soldiers have been thoroughly trounced by the party, and a few even more thoroughly tormented by Madame Scorpion. But honestly, was that really a surprise?
Way to go, everyone! We really came together as a squad and got those tasks done in no time!
How many people are left?
Did you refer to those human beings we killed as tasks?
Kate, your superhero is showing.
Because I don't really care, obviously. I'm incredibly desensitized to violence. Because I'm super violent, as you can see.
Well, not as violent as Lord Bed Archibald, I mean.
Bed Archibald.
That was really impressive, sir. You must be someone incredibly important and powerful.
He practically giddy with excitement, like a puppy tapping his feet on the ground. Okay. I've never known someone to be as happy about someone else's success as Dave is for Lord Bedlum.
You have a keen eye, stranger, I can tell. Yes, I am quite powerful and extremely important, as was no doubt obvious from the fact that those men were here for me.
Yeah, that's true, and also the bragging about all your family lineage.
And though I doubtlessly could have handled them all myself, I do appreciate that you are all willing to support me. Perhaps if you are otherwise unoccupied, you could join my retinue as my attendants.
Well, that's one person signing up. The other two are not.
Scarlet Ravenblood is no one's attendant. I walk my own path. A path of darkness. Like a lone wolf walking by the light of the winter moon.
And, okay, Madam Scorpion, what have you done? Who have you eluded? And who is currently being beheaded?
But the yelling thing's pretty dope. Aside from the hearing loss, so I guess we can hang out or whatever.
Excellent! It would be a boon to have the services of a paladin of such skill. And you were also quite impressive, Miss... what was your name?
Everyone turns towards Scorpion expectantly. Now that she's been asked directly, she can't avoid saying it, assuming, of course, she came up with one. She doesn't have a name. Let me guess.
Me? Why, I'm deaf.
Actually, pretty fair enough, you know? That's simple and fitting.
Shit, it's pretty dark.
I'm a fan of it.
And fitting, too. You acquitted yourself well, Lady Death. Well fought.
Lady Death is actually a pretty good title. Well, thank you, Lord Archibald.
All right, look at that. You won your first battle, you introduced yourselves. You're basically a full-fledged party now.
That's if they choose to stick together, right?
Really? Just like that?
Just like that.
Excellent! Then let us proceed with our quest. We must root out and destroy this threat to the Lifespan family name post-haste.
Is that really the plot? To save Lord Archibald's family? I say his family. His bloodline, I guess.
Whatever that threat is exactly. We should probably find that out.
Are you going to take over a kingdom?
Good idea, sir. Luckily for you, you may have your answers soon. For as the dust settles, a wizened old man picks his way through the carnage, waving towards you. He calls out, "Oh, thank goodness you're alive, Lord Lifespan. I was worried those ruffians would strike you down before I could find you. You see, I have something vitally important to..."
Does Lady Death kill him?
I stab him.
Yep.
You what? I mean, sure. Life's pointless anyway.
Where do you stab him?
But he was about to tell me vital information about...
Stanley, roll the dice.
I glance over to Lord Bedlum and shrug and apologetically. It's a fair action. I can't really stop her. So, with some hesitation, I roll for the old man. Please roll. He's going to get in that one.
Oof, that is one very dead old guy. Damn. Your knife goes right through his heart, killing him instantly.
Oh, well.
Naturally. Next, I clean my blade and search his pockets for any kind of note or parchment.
Fair enough. I frown and glance down to my notes. Can't you read them? Or is this some sort of thing it's just predictable for a supervillain? After taking a second to confirm a man's inventory, I turn back to Scorpion.
You find a letter addressed to the man from Lord Archibald's long-lost younger brother.
He has a younger... Okay.
He has allied with the Kingdom of Stoltorum to steal the Lifespan family throne, and sent this man here to lead you astray, in case the attempt on your life failed.
By the demon god Carnanthium! What a
Carnanthium.
shocking twist! Betrayed by my own flesh and blood!
I mean, you are a family of villains. Lord Bedlum continues to his monologue, but I find it hard to pay attention. Instead, I'm staring back at my notes. No, she couldn't have read them. There was no opportunity for her to. Unless she has superpowers. We've never actually considered that, really. She was just really good with the sword. Maybe she's just that good. So she figured the battle system. She figured out the battle system in no time, after all. I feel someone staring, and look up to find Kate frowning in my direction. She's thinking the same thing. Am I on? Isn't she? Or I am. No, she is. How can you let people get killed so easily? I shrug and chance to look at Scorpion before moving on. Maybe one day I'll find something worth risking her wrath for, but this isn't it. Eventually, Lord Bedlum runs out of steam, and the party moves on. As time passes, they grow more comfortable with the game and each other. Even when I give them a challenge, they tear through it. Lord Bedlum's character assumes leadership of the party both in and out of battle. Apparently, the first performance was all it took for him and Dave to become convinced he's the hero of the story. That's fair, because it should give Kate and Madame Scorpion enough time to just stab everything. Because, let me guess, if Kate took the role of the hero, or I guess the main character, they would just be kind of on adventuring to brood places, whereas Madame Scorpion would literally just kill everything. Kate doesn't seem to mind playing along, and Scorpion doesn't outright challenge him, even if I do catch her wrinkling her nose at his speeches. After many battles, and nearly as many monologues, they raid the capital of Stoltrum, and face off against the king of Stoltrum in his throne room. Naturally, the king turns out to be Archibald's long-lost brother in disguise, and he turns into a dragon, and yeah, things got a little too complicated. Nonetheless, the party managed to whittle their way at the dragon's health until it almost has nothing left. The next attack should kill it, and sum up perfectly, it's Lord Bedlum's turn.
Alright, boss, this is it. He's got basically no health left, so just pick the spell that you want to finish the fight and watch the show.
Basically, I'm assuming Madam Scorpion's gonna just assassinate him.
Excellent! Excellent! At last, Lord Archibald Lifespan shall have his revenge!
But how will that revenge be?
But I hesitate. No, I can't do it. Even for all he has done, I cannot strike down my own brother. A Lifespan should never be the bane of another Lifespan's life.
That is a good sentence. It's funny. Not like haha funny, but like, I can see the effort. Okay, Man of Scorpion, how do you kill him?
Wow, that's a great quote, sir. You should write that down. I'd use a coffee mug with that on it.
We all know you would, Dave. But anyway, boss, if you don't kill him, what do you do?
I cast Cage of Lightning on his beastly form, locking him in place.
Fair enough, I guess.
I'm sorry, my comrades, but this is the best I can do. Someone else must strike the final blow, but I must leave it to fate to decide his, fate. And by fate, I of course mean...
One by one, everyone turns to look at me. Oh crap, not again.
Oh, okay, sure, just give me a second.
I frown and flip through my rulebook. That's surprisingly humble of Lord Bedlum. But I don't know who should go next. Deciding my turn order wouldn't be fair, and rules feel wrong under the circumstances.
Just pick yourself, Stanley. I'm sure you'll make the right decision.
Yeah, I trust you, buddy. Just think of what your supervisor would do.
Madam Scorpion.
Oh, okay. If you guys think that's fair, I'm cool with it. No pressure, Stan. We won't hold a grudge, right?
Dave murmurs something non-committal, and Scorpion lets out a judgmental sound. Definitely does not sound like a grudge. The grudges are off the table. Oh well, no sense of putting it off. We'll have to see what I pick next time. Hopefully you had fun, and hopefully I can see you on the next one. With that, goodbye.